Alexi B is everything a man could want to be. Those golden locks of hair, an unparalleled jaw extension, and most importantly, he's a pretty decent leader in that niche little game called Counter-Strike. Today then, for you majestic viewers, we're going to delve into 2 examples of OG's terrorist play on Nuke, and wasting no time watching this overview, let's see what the European mix has in store for us. First of all, focus on the 3 players of Issa, Valde and Mantu. First they smoke to cross over to red alongside this flash, and without slowing down the trio swings out as a pack from the other side of red, killing Kenny S in heaven. From here, OG will go down secrets, yet the round actually ends towards A. Regardless though, we're going to look at this opening in isolation, which puts Alexi's squad into a man advantage. Winding back and focusing on Alexi B, he nades off the door, then smokes onto the molly and double flashes main. Now these nades threat a vent dive whilst applying loads of pressure out of Squeak. This pressure means Kenny up towards heaven stays looking at sight, and also had a CT player been in mini early, which is very common, he would also be looking at Squeak and crucially not towards outer. Now MBK also throws a hell smoke from spawn, which means for the riflers after facing garage, when they swing out from behind red, they can focus more so on the heaven swing. Remember, because of the pressure out of Squeak, Kenny's attention is towards inner, and that means when he swings back out of heaven, he peeks into 3 rifles and dies. So while some of the nade lineups and perspectives are running, let's talk about how you could use a play like this in your team. The first thing you have to accept is that rounds like these are high risk, high reward. There's nothing to say that an AWP will not be in garage holding the red swing, and if there is, you're in big trouble. Because of this risk, knowing when to call these plays can be really difficult. Now at high levels, when you're going into games with prep on the other team, perhaps you know where the AWP is likely to be playing, and then you could call this around that knowledge. Even so, at lower levels where teams have poor comms and will tend to over-rotate, this sort of thing will work really great, and you might even make it all the way down secrets without anybody knowing. A great way to think about plays like this is all about pacing. And if you played loads of slower rounds towards outer with those normal cross smokes, throwing in a play like this can really catch people off guard. In terms of who should throw each of the nades if you were to run this yourselves, I recommend having your AWPer learn the hell smoke and then have your lobby player or lurker throwing the nades out of Squeak. You can certainly set up differently yourselves, and the spawns here are not a big deal. Jumping into the second strategy for today, and this is going to be one of those plays that at first glance looks a little bit insane, but underneath there is method to the madness. Now first up, OG throws some outer cross smokes, and they're doing so with the recently adopted style of adding this molly for the close smoke to land on. And very quickly, the reason they're doing it like this is because if you use the traditional smoke lineup that bounces multiple times, the CTs could throw a molly here and pre-molly the smoke, and then you wouldn't have a continuous wall of smokes from red to secret. Anyway, Valde goes out with the smokes and eventually lurks out towards Africa and gets himself close to mini. Now back towards inner, Alexi nades off the door and smokes for a vent dive once again. As this happens, MBK mollies top hut and throws this flash through the skylight. Alexi swings out, looking at Hunter, who was spamming a couple seconds ago. Unfortunately, however, Amanek towards Mustang does not get whited by the flash and finds both kills. So, while some of the player perspectives are running, let's talk through the thought process here from OG. And before delving into this topic, I need to point out that this choice of strategy may be due to some preparation OG had done into G2 surrounding kind of their CT setups, or how the Frenchman might rotate once the outer cross smokes go down. Regardless, I'm going to talk through what I think the idea was from OG here. Now first of all, they throw the outer cross smokes, which may pull attention towards outer from the players, particularly in heaven and mini. And if OG were to get lucky, a player might rotate to lower through vent or ramp. Now if a player rotates lower, it is very likely that the A site will lose a defender. either due to someone going down the vent itself or because a player in heaven would likely pick up ramp should the ramp player himself drop down and onto B. The vent dive smoke and molly on top of Hut also pulls loads of attention onto Squeaky, and with all of these kind of factors combined, Hut will very likely be left exposed, and had the A anchor, which is the player tasked with holding Hut, been playing heaven, the flash would have caught him, and I'm pretty sure in that scenario OG wins the round. Unfortunately though, Amanek was in the perfect spot, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now this match against G2 was actually the first game I've properly gone through from OG, and I have to say Alexi's squad in terms of style and calling really reminds me of another team from around a year ago. And you probably guessed it, that team was ENCE, and personally I'm really excited actually to see this OG team moving forward, since teams which thrive from being explosive and taking risks with their T-calling, kind of like 2015 and 2016 Virtus Pro, make for some really entertaining Counter-Strike. So why don't you comment below with your thoughts on OG? Was removing Alexi B, i.e. the most important part of ENCE's successes and also being irreplaceable within the Finnish scene, was that a massive blunder from ENCE? I'll let you guys kind of guess my thoughts on that matter. Anyway guys, if you have any questions, my Discord server is the place to go. That and my other social medias are linked below, and if you enjoyed that one, why don't you hit that like button, get subscribed, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.